to Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's welcome at the Myer Music Bowl couldn't have been more enthusiastic. The smaller-than-expected crowd almost drowning out their idol.
I like to say...
But missing from today's presentation was Lord Mayor Ivan Devison, who pulled out, claiming an agreement for Jackson to donate money to local charity the Smith Family Foundation had been broken. The Smith family claims it was promised the donation plus the proceeds of volunteer collections at today's event.
But when it was promised and then the promise was reneged, that's a bit of a disappointment.
But tour organisers describe it as nothing more than a storm in a teacup. They say both Ivan Devison and the Smith family must have been under a misapprehension. Sony chief Dennis Handland and his offsiders were unhappy about the row being raised, but denied any donation had ever been promised.
The guy gives millions of dollars away to charity. We've tried to do the right thing by all this. I mean, I'd be very disappointed if this became a headline story out of such a positive event.
A charity row was the last thing on anyone's mind at the MCG last night, Jackson wowing fans with his spectacular show. Mark Gilly, 7 Nightly News.
His loyal subjects hang on his every word, follow his every movement. As Michael Jackson arrived at the Sydney Opera House, the heavens threatened to open as more than 10,000 fans screamed. Jackson's record company rewarded its biggest selling artist with a special presentation. An 8-metre statue flown in from Prague was towed into Sydney Harbour, and a series of framed awards. Jackson's record sales have already topped $75 million. With a slight giggle, he told the assembled crowd he was full of sorrow at the prospect of leaving Sydney.
I want you to know I love each and every one of you very much.
The crowd surged towards its hero, crushing many young fans. Several had to be rescued and treated for minor injuries. Despite Jackson's brief appearance, he made a lasting impression.
Michael was completely blown away with today. He really loved it.
Jackson then went to the Prince of Wales Hospital to spread his own special brand of hope and joy to the young patients. He now heads to Brisbane for the second leg of his tour. Michael Reid, 10 News.
Handing out presents to sick children. It came after Jacko farewelled 10,000 screaming fans outside the Opera House. But the farewell was to prove premature. Bad weather has grounded his jet at the Sydney airport.
For a man who will have his own child in February, Michael Jackson today described this as the highlight of his Australian tour so far.
Oh, this is for you.
Thank you.
I'll sign a picture for you.
At the Sydney Children's Hospital, Jackson played Father Christmas a month early.
Hi, Max. Should I with you?
Again, no sign of his new bride, the performer spending 2 hours inside, given special visiting rights to gravely ill children in the cancer ward.
Can we get something for her, a toy?
The self-styled champion of children dished out thousands of dollars in presents, dolls, toys and computer games. Jackson taking time to play. The gifts for some outsizing the patients.
How do you spell your name?
B-A-N.
Clearly enjoying himself, a cameraman's stumble proved a good joke. But while it was here the softly spoken star seemed most comfortable, his real performance was at the Opera House. A 30-foot-high Jackson statue was floated down the harbour, 10,000 fans almost drowning out their idol.
I love each and every one of you very much.
Well, public appearance on the steps of the Sydney Opera House. 15 people had to be pulled to safety from the crowd of 10,000 eager fans.
His fans always believed he could walk on water. Today, the king of pop proved them right. More than 10,000 crammed the Opera House steps until finally the real thing.
My heart is full of sorrow because I have to leave today.
Total public adoration. And thanks from Sony for earning the music giant more than $75 million from Australian sales. Next stop, the Children's Hospital in Randwick, where he met kids and toured the wards. Last night, Jacko bid farewell to more than 40,000 fans at another sellout Sydney concert. Then back at the hotel, one fan with stars in her eyes and a photo she'll never forget. But just 3 days into his marriage, Britain's tabloids are digging the dirt on the new Mrs. Jackson, with photos of a topless Debbie Rowe and claims she was once a foul-mouthed, hard-drinking bikie. Word is Jacko may return to Sydney for one final show. Melissa Doyle, 7 Nightly News.
This minibus was mobbed by hundreds of screaming fans as police and security guards struggled to clear a path to his hotel. Several fans fainted in the crush. One had to be rescued by police, but inside the hotel there was comparative calm as Jackson was presented with an Aussie-style hat and serenaded by a children's choir.